See, we've already pre-shuffled, so welcome to Blueprint Tarot 74. I'm Honey Mun. How are y'all doing? I should have done this morning the minute I woke up when it was fresh in my mind, but as the day has been going, it's like I can remember more and more of the dream. So anywho, the dream was like, take me back to a place where an old church when I was younger that I grew up around or grew up in. And not only that, I happened to be like at the foyer, like, because this was a very small church. And it's like the church had asbestos in it or something like that. And they could not knock the church down. This was in real life. They couldn't knock the church down unless like it got to be knocked down a certain type of way or whatever the case may be. But in the dream, they used one of my favorite uncles. He said, "Hey, baby," but that was like way from up, like close to like the pulpit or whatever the case may be. This particular church, her mother was a minister, and she ended up leaving her daughter the church. You understand what I'm saying? So that her daughter ended up being a minister too or whatever. But when I was at this church, I learned a lot of things, and a lot of things I learned of what I would not do and how to treat people. And how to not always live in the past. She was a very good minister somewhat, and she could sing really, really good, but most of her things was always about when she was out in the streets and on drugs and how she overcame and keep going back to being on rack. And it's like the rack area is over. I'm not saying people ain't still doing rack, but you know what I'm saying? And it was like trauma. You know what I'm saying? It was like trauma bonding going to that particular church. So in the dream, for them to use the voice of my uncle to say, "Baby, come on in," or whatever, was like really funny to me, because we are in this energy, or this energy that keep trying to surround us, is that energy that makes us want to come back, where it's something going on that we got to save somebody energy. We got to do something to make it better energy. To make us kind of feel, like I said, trauma bonding. Homestuck syndrome, where it's like you feel like things won't go right if you're not there. You feel like no one can save themselves. You have to be the savior. No. So they're going to use familiar things, familiar places. But when I sit back and think about the church, that place literally just showed me, it was a non-denomination church, literally showed me what I did not want to do and how I did not want to treat people. I remember, me and my children were coming from Orlando, and before we could even get halfway through coming back home, the car broke down. I had just bought this car. This is how I learned about the lemon law, whatever the case may be. So I think Easter or something was coming up, and me and my children, we were part of the dance organization, whatever, because we did not have a choir. So instead of someone trying to see if me and my children was okay on the side of the road with 18-wheelers. My children were way younger then. They're grown now. But, well, grown per se. But they were way younger then, and the truck was just like swaying, because on that highway, it's like the wind. Oh, my God. But the main thing was when we finally made it back. Like, this is how you can understand how dedicated me and my children were, or whatever, or how dedicated I am to something. Even in the middle of being completely scared, all type of stuff, I walked across the street, got in touch with who I need to get in touch with. Walked across a 2-highway, like a real highway. Okay? Not just a 2-lane highway, a real highway. And made it back safely twice to my children. These people at the freaking church, all they was like, "Well, did y'all got the dance? Are y'all ready? So and so." Then from that day forward, they never knew that even when we got ready to build the new church, you understand what I'm saying? They never knew that they had lost me and my children. Me and my daughters was just on a mission that was part of our mission. So we did what we had to do to complete it. So we go to the next part of our life. You understand what I'm saying? That was part of our mission, but we will never go back. Never. I don't care who you use familiar. I don't give a damn who you use. I don't care. I don't care who you use. We gone, because we gone to this. We in this right here. This is ours. because of all the hard work that we have done, and we had to learn how to turn our back on them bitches. She's like, oh, why would you say that about her wife? Because she was a low down person. She might not be the same way now, or they might not be the same way now. But they got these real conniving ass low down ways about it. You know what I'm saying? So we're not going back to this. Me and my daughter aren't going back to this. We would never go back to anything like that. You understand why? Because we are the high priestesses. The shamans. The gurus. And the world is in my heart, not in my hand. So I tread lightly. I'm always considerate of other people's feelings, how other people will feel, how with what I say out of my mouth. Not saying I'm just walking on eggshells, but I always think about if the shoe was on the other foot and if I would even want to wear that shoe. You know, so people want to get what you got, but they don't want to do what you had to do. I almost even lost a relationship with my children because they didn't understand, man, why we got to be at dance practice on Friday, come help clean the church or organize the church on Saturday. Then we got to be here on Sunday before the church opened and so because the dance ministry was the head of the whole church organization because we did not have a choir. And then she was a center of attention because she just had to sing. We would literally be in this place like imprisonment. The worst spiritual jail you could be in because it was willingly, because I don't know if we didn't want to hurt her feelings or she had casted some type of witchery spell on us or something like that. But we would be in there at 9 by 10 o'clock in the morning. And sometimes we wouldn't get out at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. She just talking and leaning on the podium and all that. And like you had other ministers in there. Her best friend was a minister. And she telling the lady, hey, man, when I pass over, shit, if something happened to me right now, I'm just going to pass it to. No, pass it to her now. Her people, damn near the people that kept have fun in the church. You get what I'm saying? So what are you talking about? Okay, that's cool. Everybody know their position. But she was just a selfish individual. She had I remember when she called herself, they're going to get me a gift or whatever. And the church got together and we got her like a big Apple computer. They got me a Dell or whatever. So she's supposed to be writing a book and all that type of stuff or whatever. Do you know she didn't even wrap my gift, but we got hers all wrapped up and pretty. Everybody in the congregation or whatever, we donated to it. Every family donated money to it or whatever. She got me a Dell and she's like, yeah, I was trying to tell Elder so and so that, I mean, if you was giving me a gift, would you care about the paper or the wrapper, or would you care about the gift? Bitch, I want the paper, the wrapper, all of it. It's a gift. I want to unwrap my gift. But it's all good. You get what I'm saying? I knew jealousy and envy then. But like I said, I accomplished. I took myself back to school. I got my diploma. Now I'm getting ready. I'm a holistic healer now. I'm an official herbalist. You understand what I'm saying? What they call midwives and all that type of stuff. I do all different type of things with herbs. I thank God for my ancestors. I want to give a shout out to my grandmother, Martha Pearson. You know what I'm saying? R.I.P. to her. She passed away from this earth when she was 103. So at the end of the day, I really appreciate her. I really appreciate all the things that she have taught me and stuff like that. And she was an Aries, so she let me know how to recognize that when somebody, they just winning the battle, but I'm going to win the war. So at the end of the day, you might have to be uncomfortable for a little while. But at the end of the day, you do not have to go back. You do not have to go back. You do not have to go back. When this is yours, you do not have to go back. This is you. You do not have to go back to them backstabbers. I don't care what their name is, who they portray to be. We don't have to go back. No more trickery. This has been Blueprint Tarot 74. I am Honeyman. Have a good day.